G'day everyone, this is my unique models T50 that I recently got from Hobby King. As you can see, I've just added a few bits and pieces of my own design. Yellow sign writing vinyl to cover the white I wasn't particularly keen on, and gave it a touch up in a few other areas. But what I'm going to show you is just how to make the drop tanks removable, because I don't always like to flow them on. They just seem to catch on things in the back of the vehicle when I'm transporting it, but for display purposes it's nice to be able to put them on. These are the cutouts in the bottom of the wing, obviously, where the drop tanks fit into. Normally you'd glue them in there, but as I say, it's more convenient being able to take them off. One of the first things you want to do is find a thin piece of plastic that you can cut to shape to fit into that gap. This is basically any thin bit of plastic that'll let glue stick to it. I was going to use some black ice cream container, but glue does not stick to that, not even araldite. This is out of a box that an iPhone came in actually, and it's perfect. Glue will stick to that really well. I'm basically going to need to trace the top of that shape on that bit of plastic and then cut it out. The next thing you want to consider is just what you're going to use to slot into the keyholes. As you can see, I've got two little bits of plastic there which I made, and they're going to it should be in a bit further, they're going to slot in to the keyholes on the bit of plastic once they're cut. There's a couple of ways you can do it. You could use a screw if you like, and screw it straight in, but in the interest of weight I made these out of a bit of plastic sprue which comes off you know, your plastic model kits. Heat it up on the end and then squash it down onto a metal surface. Alright, let me show you how to make these little stems that are going to attach into the top of the drop tank, slide into the wing. Get your bit of sprue. Now, a washer that'll slip over the end nicely. You'll see what that gets used for shortly. So just hold that up with one finger out of the way. Don't heat it too far up the rod, or else the whole thing goes soggy, and when you push it down it goes skew-if. So you sort of just want to heat the last 5 mil or so really, without the flame getting too close, or else it just catches on fire. But you'll see it start to bulge at the end, gets a bit shiny. Push her down, nice neat circle, push the washer down on top so it's flat on the inside, nice and flat, and there you have it. There's a lovely example of how it should turn out with a little bit of practice. Nice circle, good amount of plastic under there to hold on to the underside of the wing. Alrighty, so we'll I've just cut that bit of plastic in half to make it a bit easier. Get your bit of plastic, get your drop tank, chucked it on there. This is really awkward. I'm trying to do this by looking over the camera, and it's really awkward. Put that over there, and then trace the outline of the tank. It's easy probably to do in a couple of stages. Trim it, trim a bit of trace it, trim a bit of excess off, and then trim it again. But there you'll just faintly see the outline. Cut around that, and then I'll show you what I prepared earlier. But anyway, once I decide where I want to put my two holes for the two stems, then I can cut the corresponding keyholes out in that bit of plastic. So there's the slot on the underside of the wing. There's a bit of plastic that'll just glue into there nice and neatly. A bit of araldite, and will sit in there, and it's kind of flush with the bottom of the wing. Okay, now we're up to drilling the holes for the posts to go into. I've just put a halfway mark longitudinally up that bit of plastic. It gives me a rough idea where I can start drilling. So it's best to put this onto the wing in the indentation and figure out where you want your holes. Obviously there's the wire for the servo passes through the indentation that this is going to go into, and you don't want the stems obviously sitting where that is. So sit that on there, so it's centered, and then drill a pilot hole for a start. One and two. Beauty. So those two holes, they'll obviously be where the tank is at its on position. So the keyhole is going to be cut further up this way with a larger hole at that end. Alright, next thing you want to do is drill your second pilot hole. There's no particular distance that needs to be away from that one, just whatever you like really. Mine's about 13mm up, and that gives it still enough plastic at the top here for once I drill the large hole that there's still going to be plenty of plastic around it. Again, this is very awkward to do over the camera. So drill your pilot hole, your second one, and as I say, the second one will be a larger hole once you drill it out. Right, so there's those two for a start. Next thing we do is basically drill this hole out so it's the same diameter as that part of the plastic, and then drill that hole out so it's the same diameter as that bit of the plastic, and then you cut a slot. So I'll do that all in one go and I'll show you the finished product. Alrighty, so there's the two keyholes cut in the plastic. I've jammed two of the stems in there with about a couple of mil, well, the clearance is about as thick as that piece of plastic. So you can see that once that's attached to the bottom of the wing, that'll go in there. There's the cat playing on the chair, sorry about that, and it just slides back into place, and that's how it will attach to the bottom of the ring. You can see how it's come together. Pretty simple, huh? So very easy to remove. Not when it's not attached obviously, but yeah, slides out and the tanks drop off. Piece of cake. Right, now that we've got our keyholes cut in a bit of plastic, sit that in there into the indentation where it's going to go, and then just trace around the inside of the keyhole onto the wing like that. Then you want to get a Dremel or similar tool, if you're handy with a craft knife, and just cut out that portion, maybe make it 2 or 3mm deep, just on either one of those, either of those outlines, and that'll allow enough depth for those stems to protrude into the wing just in those points. Alright, get your Dremel. I've got a fitting like that. This is really good for digging out bits of foam. And then cut out your indentations. Right, that ain't beautiful. It'll do a bit of tidying up, but just make it deep enough so when they sit there, they can go all the way to the position that you want it at the back, and the top part of the tank is flush with the wing. That's how you know it's deep enough. Okay, the other thing I want to remember to do is to just sand down the paint a bit on the wing so you get a good contact. Then start putting your araldite in, obviously remembering not to stick it into the two holes that you just dremeled out, just around the outsides of where the hole is going to go. Or alternatively, whatever find it easiest, stick it on the back of that. Once the glue's in there, set that in place, make sure it's all snug before you try and set the drop tank onto it. Alright, with that gluing in place, I'm also just going to add a little bit of black insulating tape over the front there, and the centre and the back. That'll assist with keeping it in place while it's drying, and also add to the strength of it on the underside of the wing there. Okay, so there we have the mounting plate set in place. You got your drop tank. These stems you can either glue in place. I think it's good just to have them pushed in there. They're very tight, so if that catches, it'll just pull out of the drop tank, which is a safety feature, I suppose. You're unlikely to catch the top of the missile, but the drop tank, but you never know. So that simply goes onto there, push it down, lock it back into place, and there you have it. Removable drop tank. Pretty simple operation, really. There you go. Alright, so there we go. There's the finished product. Drop tank's all nicely painted again. Pretty simple and easy method to accommodate removable drop tanks or other sort of ordnance you might have for aircraft or other RC models. Hope you got something out of it. Hope it works for you. And give it a crack. It might be just what you need to finish up a project. Thanks for watching.